I first played Oblivion on the Xbox 360 when it was released in 2006. As a fan of Morrowind, I was stunned by the environments, the character models, the way NPCs would go about their days, and all the systems that gave you such a wide range of approaches to combat. So when I first heard about the Oblivion Remaster, I was super excited. It had always been my favorite Elder Scrolls game. I played and beat Morrowind and Skyrim, and I have fond memories of Daggerfall when I was young, but Oblivion was always peak Elder Scrolls to me. The problem with remasters is that they often take away or change what made a game special in the first place. They take the opportunity to go beyond just a graphical upgrade and change systems, storylines, AI, and a bunch of other things in an attempt to make the game better. Sometimes those upgrades are worth it, like Wind Waker HD, which provided better resolution, but it also streamlined some of the UI and slow travel sections. Other times, remasters stay true to the original, even if it's janky and bug-ridden. Elder Scrolls Oblivion belongs to the later category. Sure, there are some UI fixes, adding a few small quality of life improvements to the game, but mostly it's the very same game from 2006 with a few patches added and a huge graphical improvement. So, is the Elder Scrolls Oblivion Remastered worth checking out on console? This review is going to answer that question.
I have seen the gates of Oblivion, beyond which no waking eye may see. Behold, in darkness, a doom sweeps the land.
I played the remaster on the Xbox Series X through Game Pass, but it's also available on PC through Steam and the Xbox app. For this review, I beat the main storyline, along with the Mages Guild and the Dark Brotherhood, clocking in at about 25 hours of playtime. Let's start with the review of the technicals. Oblivion Remaster is just as janky, bug-ridden, glitchy, and crashes just as often as the original. I had the game crash the desktop a dozen times. Quests bug out requiring a reload, characters disappear, dying suddenly, or they fly into the sky like they were swimming. I've had guards spot me stealing stuff through walls. I've duplicated items with ease on the controller. I've crafted weird spells that just break the game. In short, everything that was present in the original is still here in the remaster. There has been no real attempts to fix anything in Oblivion, and I think that was a good decision. Sure, it could use a lot of optimization, especially in towns, and they really need to fix the crashing. But the jank is part of the game and a big part of its charm. So, expect crashes and bugs. Expect low frame rates in town, especially on quality mode, and expect washed out and somewhat low resolution on performance mode as Oblivion tries to maintain 60 FPS. Save often, since the game will crash.
What do you know of the Emperor's death? As unlikely as your story sounds, I believe you. Only the strange destiny of Uriel Septim could have brought you to me carrying the Amulet of Kings.
Let's move on to graphics, which was a large change to the Oblivion Remaster. It's the original game ported over to Unreal Engine 5, and if you're familiar with that engine, and I've reviewed a few games that uses it by now, you will know what to expect. It's stunningly detailed. The environments are filled with trees and plants and grass. The characters are rendered so that each hair is visible. Each wrinkle stands out on their face. The character creator can make some truly hideous or beautiful characters, depending on how much time you want to mess around with it. It's amazing what can be achieved here, and Oblivion Remastered takes full advantage of it. The lighting from torches and Oblivion gates shine through the darkness, caves are barren and menacing, only to open up to these green areas where plants grow in shafts of light from the surface. But everything is also instantly recognizable. I had no trouble remembering where to go, what locations were, and even characters that have been improved retain the same art style, so it wasn't jarring. It honestly felt like the old game with graphics cranked up to 1000%, but there are noticeable differences. Weapons and armor have been changed, their appearance in both the menu and in-game having been tweaked to provide more details and to differentiate them from each other. The different races are also more distinct, especially the Argonians and the Khajiit, with bigger ears, fur, and other additions. I could go on and on about the graphics, but you can see for yourself in this video. It's a drastic change that brings Oblivion beyond Fallout 4, Skyrim, and even Starfield. It's an incredible difference, and if you're someone who wanted to play Oblivion but the old graphics were holding you back, the remaster is a perfect time to check out this incredible game.
I can go no further. You alone must stand against the Prince of Destruction and his mortal servants. He must not have the Amulet of Kings. Take the amulet, give it to Joffrey. He alone knows where to find my last son. Find him and close shut the jaws of Oblivion.
Alright, unlike my other reviews, I'm not going to touch on the story and the gameplay much for the remastered, aside from a quick summary of any noticeable changes the remaster had over the original. Story-wise, it's the same as the original. All the side content function in the way I remembered. I killed someone in-game accidentally, and the Dark Brotherhood approached me to become an assassin. I heard a rumor about the Mage Guild recruiting, so I joined. I did the same for the Fighters Guild, but I only did a few missions for that guild. I visited the arena and fought before going and doing something else. I didn't notice any changes in how you approach missions, or an improvement on making them easier to navigate. You're still going to have to listen to rumors in town, get hints from characters, rather than following a waypoint all the time. You still need to read a book to discover the secrets of the Mythic Dawn. You still need to persuade characters to tell you what happened to a staff or a Mage Guild mission. You will still need to jankily follow a woman who is leaving meat outside someone's house to lure mountain lions to kill her pet rats. It's all there, the good and the bad, the frustrating and the unique. The remaster could have taken the opportunity to streamline things, to point out waypoints, what to do in a way that the modern games do. But they didn't go that route, and I very much appreciate it. Oblivion is the way it is because it's half broken most of the time. NPCs act in weird and unpredictable ways. Spells can be created to break combat, items can be duplicated so you can have unlimited money and potions. It's all there as it should be. There are some UI improvements to make things somewhat easier to navigate, but the weird inventory system that makes it difficult to know how many rings you have equipped, or finding a spell quickly when you have hundreds to choose from, it's all still there. Getting a disease is only visible in the menu, so half the time you don't know you have the chills until you wonder why your magicka is so low. It's interesting because it asks the question, how far should a remaster go? If they fix the bugs, change the UI, streamline missions, improve combat and spellcasting, would that still make it Elder Scrolls Oblivion? Would I have enjoyed it more or less? Would players have appreciated the changes, or would we have complained that they did something with the remaster that we didn't want? I'm not 100% sure, but I do know that personally, I enjoyed my time with the Oblivion Remaster almost as much as I did with the original.
This is the 27th of Last Seed, the year of Akatosh 433. These are the closing days of the Third Era and the final hours of my life.
Alright, let's quickly go through the pros and cons of the Oblivion Remaster. For the pros, the game looks incredible. The graphical improvements are stunning, even compared to other Unreal Engine 5 games. Everything is almost exactly the same as I remember, just with a huge visual facelift. All the side content is here, along with the Shivering Isles DLC. And at only $50 US, it's a fair price. And it's also day one on Game Pass, which makes it even more affordable. For the cons, it crashed a lot during my 25-hour playthrough, at least a dozen times, if not more. The optimization on console needs improvement. Performance mode takes away a lot of the graphical improvements to try to reach 60 FPS, while quality mode had a ton of texture pop-ins and FPS drops. And that's it for another review. I think people who are both fans of Oblivion and newcomers to the game will both be satisfied with the remaster. It's priced well and on Game Pass, which makes it very affordable to check out. I'm the Casual Console Gamer on YouTube, and if you're enjoying my content, please subscribe to my channel, like the video, and maybe leave a comment below about how you're feeling about the remaster. I'll see you all in the next review where I discuss Clair Obscur, the Expedition 33 on console.